Oh boy, I'm overdue. Alright, so now we're gonna pop the hood.
Hey, pop the hood.
Pop the hood?
Pop the hood.
Alright, since I just got home, the engine is still hot. You have to let it cool down. It's gonna burn your hand, and it's only about 60 degrees outside, so I'll come back in 15-20 minutes. It should be cool down enough. Plus, this is a small engine. It's 1.5 liter. If it were a 5 liter, it will take a lot longer to cool down, so it shouldn't take that long. Okay, while we're waiting for the engine to cool down, let's get everything else set up. This is my drain pan. Right there. And then this guy, I've had this thing for I think 15 years. Still works. 17mm socket, so right here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use a 6 size one, so I'm just gonna leave it here for now. Not that it really matters, but if you could help it, you should use a 6 size one instead of the 12 size. I mean, the chances of you stripping it is like next to none, but if you could help it, if you have it, use these instead of the other kind. We're ready to go. We're gonna let this cool down. And we're also gonna have to remove the bottom panel. All right, now we're at the bottom of the Honda Fit. There are 6 metal screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to remove. Then we have these 2 plastic ones. They're all Phillips. So anywho, I'm gonna have to put my camera down because I'm under the car by myself. So let me take these guys off. All right, so these 2 plastic pieces are the ones in the back, so they broke off. But that's okay. I have new ones. I bought 2 or 3 new ones from the dealership or from online a few months ago because I anticipated that these might break off for my next oil change, and they did. But I don't know, sometimes I don't understand Honda. I mean, why don't they just go with all 8 metal screws instead of 6 metal screws and then using these 2 flimsy plastic thingies? I don't know. I don't get it. All right, these are my 6 metal Phillips screws, so I put them away for now so I don't lose them, and I also cleaned them. All right, so it's been about 25 minutes since I shut the car off, and I mean, it's still kind of hot, but it's cool enough that I can leave my hand on it without being, you know, feeling burnt. And the oil filter is cool. So here's my 17mm. Make sure it's the right one. Yep, it fits. So, yep, it's cracked. So now, oh, you know what? All me get some gloves on. I'm gonna get this stuff all over my hand. When it starts dripping, I'm just gonna let it go quickly so I don't get this all over me or on the camera. I hope not. Here we go. It's pretty dark brown. It's not black. Well, it's kind of black, but it's still a very dark shade of brown. So that's the drain plug. So let me set this on the side. So I'm moving my drain pan forward, so it's gonna catch both. It's gonna catch both oil coming out of the drain pan and also the oil filter. So now I can do this by hand up here. Ew. Looks like diarrhea, man. Bad case of diarrhea. And I'm only, what, 65 miles? Or not even 70 miles overdue, so, ew. Alright, as you can see that this guy is still draining. And I don't really have anywhere to go tonight. So I'm just gonna let this guy sit, let it drain overnight, let it drip really good and clean. All right, so now I'm trying to clean up the oil filter area. Just wiped off any dirt, dust, stuff around the mating surface area of where the oil filter would sit. So let's go work on the new oil filter and put it on here. So for the new motor oil, I've always used Mobil 1. That's my go-to motor oil. I mean, sometimes if they don't have it on the shelf, I would use Edge, Castro Edge or something, but they're always full synthetic. In the oil filter, I have always used FRAM. So I'm gonna take that out. So what you want to do is, I'm sure you guys know how to do that. You need to loop the plastic piece here before you put it onto the engine block. So don't open this with like screwdrivers and stuff like that. You never know what you have on your metal parts. You might have dirt, dust on it, so don't do that. Just use your hand. Don't be lazy, so you don't get this thing contaminated. So this is 0W20, which is recommended for this car. So what I do is I just dip my finger in there and get a few drops, and then just kind of smear it around, get a nice film all the way around, and then put this down, put this cap back on so you don't accidentally kick it, and you would hand tight it. Just want to hand tight it for now. Make sure you don't cross thread it. You just want to go on easy so you can feel that it's nice and free. So now it's on. So you want to hand tight it and then get the oil filter wrench or whatever you have and just tighten it about half a turn. All right, so I just used the oil filter wrench. I just did an extra half turn. I mean, it should be tight. I mean, I'm trying to move it, grab it, turn it. It's not going anywhere. So I forgot to mention about this. I had a 370Z at one point, and as you know, it's a low rider. So the hard plastic rams you buy from the stores, they're a lot shorter. So my Z would always scrape the front when I'm trying to come up to the ram. So I made these out of wood 10, 11 years ago. I mean, it's showing its age, but you know what? They're sturdy, they're strong, and they're heavy. So, I mean, I have the plastic ones. Even though it's a fit, it's lightweight. But if I'm going to leave the car sit overnight to let the oil drain, I'd rather have this thing sit on solid wood than hard plastic. So I just want to show you guys that. Okay, we'll see you in the morning. Okay, it is the next morning, so in theory, it should have stopped draining. It's been draining overnight, so let's just go check it out real quick. It stopped. There's just this little half drop hanging on. So let's put the drain bolt on. All right, it is a good idea every time that you change your oil, you should replace the crush washer on the drain bolt. This is the part number from Honda. These are actually genuine Honda parts. I bought a pack of 20, and don't be cheap. Get the right stuff. And also have my torque wrench. Manual calls for a 29 foot-pound of torque on the drain bolt onto the oil pan. So let's go work on that. But let me change this out first, the crush washer. Not that it looks bad, but you should just replace it. So there's a new one, but before you put this on, you want to clean up the bolt here where the crush washer would sit. Clean that up right there. And this is the old crush washer, and you know where this is going. Trash. You also want to clean up this mating surface here around the hole. You know, when you guys do this, make sure you don't rush this. And if it doesn't feel right, stop, back it out, and try again. Last thing you want to do is cross thread your drain pan. I mean your oil pan. That's an expensive replacement. Turn on my torque wrench. So you probably can't see on camera. I'm watching the display. It says 16, 19, 20, 24, 30. That's it. That's tight enough. I actually went one over 30. Now the owner's manual says that if you're changing the oil, including the filter, you need to put back 3.5 quarts of oil. So this is a 5-quart oil. So this is 1, 2, so I will be somewhere around here. Make sure there's no stuff in here. Blow it, wipe it really good. You don't want anything go right back into the engine. So let's open up this guy. So go nice and easy. Long time ago when I started changing my own oil, I didn't like pull this foil stuff all the way out. So this little piece of foil went down to the engine, but luckily it was sitting on top, so I was able to fish it out. So you want to make sure you get these guys off so you don't mess yourself up. Where am I now? Oh, I still got another 1.5 quarts to go. All right, I'm just gonna do a tad more, and then I would be at 3.5. All right, I'm at 1.5, so which is 3.5 into the engine. So, and I need to wipe this. I need to clean the engine bay a little bit after this. All right, so this thing is tight. It's snugged. The cap's back on. Everything is on. Drain bolt's tight. So now what we're gonna do is start the engine and just let it run for a few minutes and check for leaks. And it shouldn't be. Alright, it's the old oil, and you take it inside and just dump it down to your toilet. No, of course, I'm kidding. You take it to a service station. Sometimes they take them, sometimes they don't. You just kind of have to ask around. And for the remaining 1.5 quart, I'm gonna save it for the next oil change, maybe. We'll see. The engine has been running for about 20 minutes, and I just went down there and checked it again. There's absolutely nothing leaking at all. So I'm gonna shut it down and put the bottom panel back on. A little while ago, I went to pick up new ones because like I said, I figured that they would break. So I got 2 new ones. That's the part number. So I'm gonna put the bottom panel back on, along with these 6 metal screws. Okay, so the bottom panel I just put back on, but it's always a good idea to check all the other fluids that you have in your engine bay. For example, my brake and clutch fluid, that looks fine. The antifreeze or coolant, you can't see on camera, but I just check it. The line looks fine, and also your washer fluid, that looks fine also. This car doesn't have hydraulic power steering, it uses electric, so we don't need to check that. So now I'm going to reset the oil life. So turn the car on, but don't start it. So I'm not going to hold down the stick here until it flashes. I'm going to let go, and now it's flashing, so I'm just going to press it again and hold it down. So now see, it went away. So let's just check. Now it says back to 100% oil life. So that's how you do it. Now we're gonna look at a dipstick. Oh yeah, it's right on. The car is off the ramp back to the ground. Leave me your comment. Hit like or subscribe. Thank you for watching, guys. Until next time, take care of yourself. Thank you.